Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Let's do it, Crescent City. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. And if you're watching on TV or on YouTube or on Twitter, you can see I've got Royce Duplessis live in studio. Royce, how are you?
I'm great. Great to be here, Corey.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming in studio.
Happy to come. Happy to be here.
It has to have been a ridiculously busy schedule for you the last few months running for mayor. I'm not saying the hardest time in your life, but maybe one of the busiest.
Definitely one of the busiest. Every day, I say it's jokingly, every day feels like Monday, but coming off of vacation because the week never ends. So you're just going. But I'm loving every second of it. I'm grateful for every second of it. I get to connect with people all across this city, all across this region, to not only share my vision, but listen to their concerns and talk about how we can make this city better.
You look fresh and like you just started yesterday, man. I mean, you've been grinding for a while. How do you keep it up? How do you keep going? Why aren't you like, man, I'm a little worn out. I'm a little tired. This has been a grind. You don't look like it at all.
Well, the benefit that I have, and one of the things that helped me determine that I was ready for this, is that I started in government 20 years ago. I was 23 years old when I got my first job as chief of staff to a New Orleans city councilman in hurricane Post-Katrina crisis mode for the city. I've been in and around this. Council member James Carter. He was a one-term councilman, but not because he didn't want to do. He just decided to do something else. But I love public service. I love the city of New Orleans, and I'm in this to make the city better. So I get energy from serving. Yeah. So it can be challenging in terms of just managing your schedule and wanting to be in multiple places at one time, but you can only be in one place at one time. And I have a great team. I have a great team that helps me get where I need to be on time. And if I'm late, it's usually because it's my fault.
Yeah. We were originally going at 4:20.
Yeah.
And then I see you guys showed up early. I was like, let's start right at the top of the hour.
Awesome.
And we'll just end a little sooner than 5 o'clock.
Yep.
So we've got Royce Duplessis with us, New Orleans, for about the next 25 minutes. If you'd like to call in, 766-9480 is how you do it. You already answered my first question. What made you want to run for political office originally? And what made you run for state senate, that bigger office?
Yeah. So originally I ran for state rep in 2018. Then in 2022, I ran for state senate, but I'll start with the state house. So before I ran for the state house, I mentioned I worked at City Hall, but then I left my time in city government and I went to law school and I went away for a few years and I came back. I worked for a multinational law firm. Then I did my own thing. So I was just a private citizen, wanted to serve my community however I could. But I got a call from the Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice Burnett Johnson, who asked me to come and serve as her special counsel. I went and did that. I also had served on the New Orleans City Planning Commission for 5 years, 2 years as the chairman, and then a seat opened up in 2018 to run for the state house. And I felt like I had the right combination of professional experience and a heart for service, where I wanted to see my city better. So thankfully, my wife was supportive. My family was supportive.
Yeah.
So we ran in 2018. Then in 2022, we had an unexpected vacancy in the Senate. So I wasn't exactly looking to leave the House because I enjoyed my time in the House, but a vacancy opened up and I felt I had done a good job in the House. So I ran, and thankfully I was successful. So I've been in the state Senate for a little bit over 3 years now. But the decision to run for mayor was really about the fact that, New Orleans, we've always been known as the Big Easy, Corey, but things in New Orleans aren't that easy these days. And we've had a lot of dysfunction. We've had a significant population loss. Over 20,000 people have left our city. And I'm very concerned about the future of our city. I'm concerned about the future for my daughter, for your kids, for all of our children. And I believe I have the right combination of experience. I'm true New Orleans. I have the temperament to try to get New Orleans back on track. Right now, we have a lot of dysfunction where we're just not getting it done on behalf of the people. So I'm running really out of a sense of obligation and purpose to move our city forward.
Royce Duplessis is with us. Yeah, we're great at Friday, 5 p.m. to 8:59 Monday morning.
Yeah.
The 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, we struggle with that. I mean, festivals and parties, we're the world leaders.
Yeah, and I just feel like as a city, we can have the great things, but we cannot let our charm be our curse. We cannot let all of the festive aspects of New Orleans get in the way of us doing the bread and butter, nuts and bolts, get it done type of thing. And I believe I know I understand that. I know how to weave in all aspects of the celebratory, festive nature of New Orleans, but also still be able to get things done for our people.
Yeah, that's key. How do we know the big four? I guess it's education, economy, infrastructure, and education.
Yeah.
How do we get the economy going? How do we become like a mini Austin or Nashville, where these cities are just exploding, much less Atlanta, Dallas, or Houston, which have been at it for 50 years straight and continue to blow up?
Look, before we even get to Austin and other cities like that, we could take Chattanooga. They got 10,000 people just moved there. So
Birmingham.
Yeah, exactly.
Birmingham's going to pass us in metro population soon.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's
so
unreal.
we have to play up our strengths. I'm a firm believer that we should play up our strengths. I will work with the Port of New Orleans and the state and the governor and others to make sure that the expansion project is fully realized. That's a $2 billion investment, Corey, where I can see clearly places like New Orleans East benefiting directly from the container terminal expansion project. So every day we look up, we see investments, Amazon opening up a distribution plant in Slidell. We just saw one open out here in Elmwood. I want to see that happen in New Orleans East. So we play up our strengths with the port. We continue to grow there. We have the bio district right there, a charity hospital that needs to be redeveloped. These are assets that are right there that would need to be fully realized. And from there, we can then attract other investment. But the other pieces too are just the basics: cleanliness, safety, and efficiency in city government, getting permits out. So we have basic city services that are operating. That will also make our city a better place to attract investment.
We're visiting with Royce Duplessis. He's running for mayor October 11th. You've raised a lot of money, more money than anyone else, like about $600,000 roughly in the last 2 months. I was saying yesterday, if I'm Royce Duplessis, I spend $600,000 by October 11th.
Yeah, we're not leaving
the goal is
table.
to get in the runoff, and then you go go back out and try to get more funds after that. But
sure,
I'd spend every damn dime, right?
Yeah, no, you have to put it all on the line. You have to put it all out there. We absolutely anticipate getting to a runoff, but we're working. We just got to work. You got to work like there's no tomorrow. So we're grateful for what we've been able to do in a short period of time. I think it's representative of the fact that people did want a different option. There was an appetite for a different candidate in the race. This race was it was a sleeper. I mean, people were just kind of people were disaffected, and many people had already made up their mind. Many people had already decided how the race was going to go, but the people of New Orleans deserved another option, and our ability to fundraise that much in that short period of time shows that we answered that call.
How did you know that? Like Arthur Hunter didn't move the needle. You jump in the race, you take about 60% of Arthur Hunter's support, and you took a good third of Oliver Thomas's support. And that first poll, you went from 0 to like 14%, just a couple of points behind Oliver Thomas right out the gate.
Yeah.
And essentially forced Arthur Hunter to call it a day.
Yeah, and look, I love Judge Hunter, and I'm grateful to have his support now. It was not a situation where I approached Judge Hunter. It was a decision he made on his own. I have the highest respect and admiration for him. These polls can be funny. We do believe that our numbers are higher than they just showed in that recent. There was a recent poll that came out. I think that was commissioned by Fox 8.
Yeah, you fell to third, down to 11.
Yeah. So we trust in the polls of the people. These polls are literally they're volatile right now. So we're not really too caught up on what the polls are saying. We're focused on what the people, everyday people, are saying, because the work we've been putting in, the money we've raised, the reach that we've gotten just in 2 months, we don't see how those numbers square with that latest poll, but we're not stopping. I mean, we're working. Yeah. So
that's how I approach it on radio and TV.
Absolutely.
I'm like, wow, those guys down the dial are beating me. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
And I keep grinding, but maybe those guys down the dial at WWL, the bigger stick, maybe they are beating me by default. Maybe not. I'm just saying, but I do believe in polls, and the latest I've seen about 15% undecided. And I'd say roughly, I had what's the guy's name on Monday? Brad Coker on from Mason-Dixon.
Okay.
Had him on. He conducted the poll. We're guesstimating about 7 out of 10 of the 15% undecided are black females. Black females are going to elect the next mayor of the city. They're the #1 voting block, right?
Without a doubt.
How do you go get the black females, coupled with getting most of the remaining undecided, and pull some away from Helena Moreno, because she's doing very well with women and black females?
Well, what I say is I want every vote. I go after every
no
vote.
doubt. But this is what the major remaining is like. I think it's 6% white undecided. It's 20% black. It's 22% black female.
Yeah. The way we're going to win this race is just by speaking the truth and just presenting authentically our vision and what we want to do for the city. And the people of the city are going to do the right thing. We have faith in that.
I'm going to take a quick break and come back. I'm going to play this TV commercial that you put out, I guess, maybe a couple of weeks ago, which I thought was kind of divisive. I thought it was kind of a, not a bring together, but separate people. But we're going to play it and let you comment on it and what other commercials you have running and the approach you're going to take.
Absolutely.
Royce Duplessis is with us, New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you. I'm with you all the way till 6 o'clock. Royce is with us for another segment for about 15 more minutes. You can dial us up at 766-9480.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back. Corey Johnson with you. Royce Duplessis is with us. Royce, let's jump right into it. This was your first television commercial. Came out a couple of weeks ago.
I know you've seen the big money campaign trying to convince us that she has a plan for our city. Where was this plan while she led the city council? The truth is, Moreno was behind the chaos in City Hall that's held us back. Now she wants a promotion. That's not how it works. New Orleans, we have a choice. Royce Duplessis. Royce is one of us. Royce has the vision to get New Orleans back on track and the receipts to back it up. That's why for mayor, Royce is the choice.
Right.
So, see, I wouldn't call that Royce's the choice spot. I'd call that the us versus them, the black versus white spot.
No, not at all. No. So nothing racial about it. When it says that he's one of us, what that means, Corey, is that I'm proud to be from New Orleans. I didn't grow up riding $100,000 equestrian horses on the weekend. I'm a real New Orleanian. I'm true New Orleans. I used to bust tables at Mandina's. I was a bricklayer's assistant when I was in high school. I was a pool attendant at Stallings Playground. That had nothing to do with race. It had everything to do with the fact that I'm true New Orleans and I identify with the fabric of the people there. I've had struggles just like everybody else. You know, my wife and I were raising our 7-year-old daughter in Central City. So some people try to put a racial spin on it. Has nothing to do with race. I'm real New Orleans. So that's what it means. I'm not disconnected. You know, I don't live in some wealthy neighborhood. I'm really the people. So that's what that had to do with. As it relates to the first part about the Councilmember Moreno, her first ad, at least the one that I remember, I just remember seeing her standing in front of a big dumpster fire. So, you know, if you're going to call the city hall a dumpster fire, haven't you been there for the past 7 to 8 years in the second most powerful position?
It is a dumpster
fire. But what did you do?
What you're saying.
What did you do to put out the flame? And if just holding the mayor accountable, which is your job as the legislative branch of government to hold the mayor accountable, it's still a dumpster fire. So I think it's not right to paint the picture of the city being a dumpster fire without taking some accountability and blaming everything bad on someone else. And you have no accountability or no role in anything that went wrong. So you're saying everything that went right is because of you, but everything that went wrong is because of someone else. That's not leadership, and it has to be called out.
I thought just kind of the black female sassy voice on the spot, kind of. It's not a regular voice. It's
not a regular voice.
Pizzazz. And then just the trying to convince us, and Royce is one of us and our city. behind the scenes held us back.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's easy to argue the righteous New Orleans, black, white, Latino, Asian. I think the perception of that spot, personally speaking, I would run from that spot if I were you. I
Hey,
wouldn't
look,
play it
look,
again. You're
everybody
smart,
everybody
and
can
you
have
got a gumbo of people behind you.
everybody
can
can have their
that.
interpretation of it. What I stand by it. I stand by my belief that I'm true New Orleans, and
Well, you can't hide from that. You are. There's no doubt. You can't make that up.
I mean, look, folks don't want us to ever bring up race, right? It's like, I've said nothing about race. I'm here to appeal to a broad base of voters. I want to represent everybody from all corners of the city, but I've never brought up race. I've never suggested somebody should vote for me just because of my race. And I believe that, it's interesting when you look at what's the number of white voters you said that are undecided, like 7%.
Yeah, like
so
6.
So if we really want to talk about race,
they're locked pretty much into Helena Moreno.
Right. So we still got some race issues going on in this town, but I'm not playing the race card. I'm playing the true New Orleans card, and I stand by that.
No, there are more black folks crossing over to Helena Moreno than white folks crossing over to you or Oliver Thomas in this particular race. No doubt about that.
Yeah, but that's generally that's we see that quite often. So I think race is something that we all want to move past.
Yep.
But when you see numbers like that, it's still an issue we have to confront.
How do you separate yourself from the other two candidates? Y'all are all friends. You know each other. I think all of y'all are quality people. It's not like, somebody who's evil or just, a deviant setting themselves up on the side. I mean, how do you separate yourself? Plus, y'all are all Democrats and pretty liberal.
Well, I haven't been part of the dumpster fire. So
no.
That's number
indirectly,
one.
You represent New Orleans on the state level.
Yeah, but we're talking city.
Yeah. No doubt. You had nothing to do with that.
I haven't been at City Hall. We've had a lot of dysfunction.
You were on the outside of the dumpster fire.
Yeah, so I think we need somebody from the outside of the dumpster fire to come and clean it up, not somebody who's been there fanning the flames and being a part of it. I think it's time to turn the page on everything that we've had there. We need a fresh start. I started there 20 years ago in post-Katrina New Orleans, where we were trying to decide as a city which direction we were going in. I feel like we're similarly situated today, 20 years post-Katrina, trying to decide which direction we're going in. And I have the right combination of experience both in government and outside of government. I'm a trained lawyer. I'm a trained corporate lawyer. I've worked to solve problems throughout my entire professional career. I have, again, served on the New Orleans City Planning Commission 2 years as the chair. I worked at the state Supreme Court as special counsel for the Chief Justice. I have real experience both inside and outside of government, 7 years in the legislature, working across the aisle in a very hostile climate in Baton Rouge to get things done.
It's all red in BR.
Exactly. So I've never let those differences get in the way of me being able to work to get things done. And I don't go around blaming other people as the reason why things don't get done. I show up every day and I keep working. So I think my style of leadership is one that's more collaborative. I won't owe anybody, right? I think the big difference is if there's no line wrapped around the block of, I didn't have $2 million. Even though I did well with fundraising since I've been in the race, I don't have all of the favors to owe that some other candidates might have.
Royce Duplessis is with us for a few more minutes. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks for joining us. 766-9480 is the number if you have a question for Royce. The problems that are unique to New Orleans, I think at least, that are important. Flooding, like retention pond. Wagner and Ball, this engineering and architectural firm, did this New Orleans water study. Released it 10 years ago about retention ponds, water features, none of that done. We have no tree canopy. We've lost a third of our trees in the last 20 years. We're a filthy city, maybe the dirtiest in America with trash and litter. We're the
I wouldn't say we have some trash issues, but I wouldn't call us the dirtiest in America.
We're pretty close. Who's comparable?
We do need to do some cleaning up, but we're not the dirtiest. But go ahead.
I think even Jefferson and St. Tammany are dirty compared to suburbs and exurbs around the city. I just think New Orleanians throw their crap out on the ground. I don't know what the problem is.
It boils my blood. It's awful.
Me too. It's awful. And all different kind of people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's across all lines of everything. Money, race, religion. It's sick. Age. A grandma doing, a little kid doing it. And last would be, we're the population center for, the coast eroding. I've never heard the governor doesn't talk about it. The mayor never has talked about it. I think those are important issues. Like Sewage and water board, we're not going to be able to pump ourselves out of it. We need retention ponds and water features. Right. There's so many things that no one talks about. I think we're a filthy city. No one talks about let's be a clean city.
Yeah.
And we are the population center that gets crushed by a hurricane.
Yeah. I do talk about the fact that we need to clean up the trash. That's a big issue for me. I think that's how we're going to deal with attracting more economic investment. It's a public safety issue. When you are not a well-lit, clean city,
exactly,
it's going to attract bad behavior.
It does.
So I think those are some basic things that the city can do. Let's clean this place up. Give people a greater sense of pride. Light it up, right?
All of that.
Those are public safety measures.
Stripe the streets that even need to be
Yes.
repaved and
Yes.
have potholes. I mean, St. Charles Avenue from Poydras to Old Lee Circle, there's not even a stripe. You're from out of town. You're like, is this a 2-lane? Right,
Right.
by Gallier Hall,
I know.
Lafayette Square. It's
I know.
insane.
These are things that we can do. We saw it done during Super Bowl, and we just have to have that same level of coordination and urgency. So we already see that there's a model for getting it done.
Yep.
We just have to be committed to it. And it's like, you're about to have company over at your house, and you
clean it up.
You clean it up.
Of course.
Just got to do that every day.
No, it needs to be like that every day.
Yeah.
No, there's no doubt.
That's right.
Hey, I mentioned the states, like, to me, it's like wacky right wing, evangelical almost, and just that's why it's dysfunctional. It's all one side thinking. New Orleans has failed because it's strictly Democrat and hyper liberal woke. There's not a conservative anywhere in city government. I think Louisiana would be better off if we had more liberals in government, influencing government, not just this wacky right wing thing. And New Orleans is painfully liberal. Would you commit to bringing, 25% of your staff, like conservative Republicans, just to get kind of a different vibe or feel on, point of view?
So I wouldn't make any decisions based upon political party alone. Number one, you got to love the city. You got to love the people. That's where it starts for me. So whatever your political affiliation, because look, there's some good
or a conservative ideology at least, because there's zero of that in Orleans Parish.
My
zero.
style, it's a small number.
Can you
but
name
it's not
someone
zero.
that influences that's conservative in New Orleans in government? I can't think of a single person elected, appointed, anointed, a judge, anyone.
It's my style of leadership. My style of leadership is this
And
is
I'm
what
an
I believe.
independent, by the way, Royce.
I can
I'm
sense
not
that.
a-
I can sense that. I believe that if we have a view or a value, for me, for example, even if it's something ideological in Baton Rouge or just something as basic as we need to get trash picked up on time. The question that I have is, in my style of leadership, I think any good leader should be able to be proved wrong. So rather than fighting against people and their political affiliation, we should be fighting against issues that are holding us back. So just prove me wrong. So I have friends who are Republicans. I have friends who are conservatives, and we may disagree vehemently.
Yeah,
and
course.
if there's a way we can work them in, we just want to move the city forward. And I would never let somebody's political affiliation, if it can help us move forward as a city, get in the way of me working with them. I have a lot of friends who are of the other party.
Real quick, anything the mayor's done positive?
We got a greater revenue share for the city of New Orleans back in 2019. We got a greater revenue share for the city of New Orleans back in 2019. That was big.
Yeah, that I'll give you that. I liked Gaston Corbett and Montano.
Yeah,
those were good hires.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't think of too much. You get along with Jeff Landry?
We have a positive working relationship, but we disagree on a lot, obviously. I served on his transition task force when he set it up for the city of New Orleans. I was the only Democrat, only elected official from New Orleans who was willing to put politics aside to serve on that. But so obviously we don't agree on a lot of policy, but we actually do when it comes to getting insurance rates down and trying to move the city forward. We just may have some differences in terms of how we go about getting there. But I respect the office of governor, and I'm going to always work with whoever's in that office to move the city forward.
Put those on real quick because Derek in New Orleans has a question for you. Sure. Derek, thanks for calling. You're up with Royce Duplessis, state senator, running for New Orleans mayor. You there, Derek?
Hey, yes, thank you. I'd like to ask Royce about his involvement with the Innocence Project, given the cases of Robert Bright, Emily Moss.
The Innocence Project.
He cut out.
Can you hear him now? Go ahead one more time, Derek.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Mr. Royce about his involvement with the Innocence Project, particularly in light of cases like Robert Bright right here in New Orleans, Emily Maw, who was responsible for the releases of violent offenders without charging decisions in Jason Williams's office, and then, a dozen cases across the country where they release clearly guilty people on technicalities who then go on to victimize new innocent people.
So that was a lot there. I serve on the board. It's now called Innocence and Justice Louisiana. I'm proud to serve on that board. Louisiana has one of the highest rates of wrongful incarcerations in the country. We actually lead the country in the number of wrongful convictions. So as a result, we have one of the highest numbers or rates of exonerations. So nobody, and I hope you would agree, should serve or be convicted or even arrested for something that they didn't do. But we know that that has happened, unfortunately, way too often in Louisiana. So I believe in the mission of that board. I don't know the specifics of everything you just named with respect to the gentleman that you named. I have some knowledge of the incident you referred to regarding the DA's office, but I'm not involved with the DA's office. I'm involved in trying to help support an organization to give representation to people who've been wrongfully incarcerated.
Derek in New Orleans, thank you very much for calling. I know you got to run, Royce, real quick. Boy, Mama D's son, I don't know how you handled yourself in the church like that. I guess because you were in a church.
Right.
I guess because you were in a church.
That's
I
the
guess
only
it made
reason
it a
why,
little
because let me tell you.
No, I'm telling you, in any other public setting,
he
it was
picked
insane.
the right spot.
Jeez,
These are the things
deal
that
with you outside the church after the service.
right,
is over.
because
It's insane.
for me to do anything outside of that would have, I'm there to celebrate, and I was invited to that church.
I just don't know how you handle
I was
that.
invited to that church, and I was thinking about the other church members who were there. So look, we're looking forward. We know that there are going to be all kind of distractions, and it was so interesting because the word that the pastor preached that day, he talked about thorns and how when you're trying to move forward, and
That guy was a thorn.
So we're moving forward. We're not distracted by that.
All right, a couple of quick ones. Will trash be picked up twice a week in New Orleans if you're mayor?
It's a goal of mine. It's a top goal, and it can be done. We have a budget deficit, but the people of New Orleans want that. They deserve it, and I will work to make it happen.
Traffic cameras turned off?
Yes.
Nice, for sure. No more traffic cameras.
That's what we're going to work to do.
And not later you
certainly,
become mayor and go, wow, with this 30 million we were getting, we need that money.
But yeah, it's just really problematic. It's just really problematic.
You got time for one more call?
Sure.
Rob, we got to run. Make it quick. He's in overtime. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah. I got a question. The candidate just said that he worked with Jeff Landry to bring insurance rates down. I follow that, and I don't know. Could he explain what he and Jeff Landry did? Because the way to bring it down is to rein in the Morris Barts and the Dudley DeBosiers and the ads. Mr. Duplessis, can you explain to me what you and Jeff Landry did to bring down our auto insurance rates?
Thank you, Rob. Well, that's a good question. I think he's right. Those advertising attorneys are obnoxious.
Well, we have a difference of opinion on that.
On the attorneys?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have a difference of opinion on that. First of all, attorneys wouldn't be in business if insurance companies paid fair on the front end. Claimants do not call attorneys so they can split their fee with a lawyer. If
I don't think the layman that
let me answer the question, Corey. Let me answer
Give too much credit for these folks.
So let me say this: if insurance companies pay fair on the front end, then you could put attorneys out of business tomorrow. So, but beyond that, you have a thing called the First Amendment, right? So so every time you see an attorney advertise, we see a Gecko or we see State Farm. I mean, these insurance companies advertise just as much. So let's get that out there. But in terms of me working with the governor, that's an ongoing process. We were working together to try to figure out what the real issues were, but not just on auto insurance, particularly on homeowners insurance. That's the area where we work to try to deal with the fortified roof program.
Yeah, we see in Jefferson Parish it's going down like 25%.
Exactly. So we're working to strengthen the fortified roof program, adding more funding to it. I've brought legislation to put a minimum discount requirement in for the fortified roof program. We didn't get it over the finish line this year because the insurance commissioner opposed it, although the governor was open to trying to get it done. that's something that was one of those areas where we've worked together, particularly in the homeowners insurance area.
I like attorneys.
Yeah.
I don't like these advertising injury attorneys. We have the same amount of wrecks as anywhere else in America per capita, same amount of damage, twice the claims.
Yeah.
And these two things I think the advertising
we also have
lawyers do.
really bad roads.
No, we do.
Yeah.
But I think with the advertising attorney does two things. It encourages you to sue, and it's for the common man, basically. And two, it insinuates you need an attorney to make an insurance claim. I've made a gazillion claims in my life, and I've never had an attorney.
Well,
Hey,
I got to just make a little quick
please.
point on that.
Yep.
Because I just want to, because I have a responsibility to say these things, because I serve on Senate Insurance and I am an attorney as well. And I know how it seems very intuitive and natural to blame the attorneys, but there's so many other factors that play into this, and people need to know that we've been doing tort reform since the 70s. And every time a state, not just Louisiana, but across the country, implements a new form of tort reform, which all that does is limits people's rights. It just limits people's rights to get justice. We have never seen rates go down after they've promised rates to go down. So 2020, we were promised that rates would go down 20%. They actually went up 25% every time we've done some type of tort reform. And then they come and say, well, it was because the legislation was watered down. Well, that's what was passed.
Yeah.
Rates never go down. So all we're doing is limit people's rights. Give people a chance to bring their claim. And if the insurance company didn't do anything wrong, then they won't have to pay out. Frivolous lawsuits get dismissed.
You guys have been great. And
Okay.
I haven't gotten a bad look from them yet about,
Okay.
hey, man, let's go. We
Yeah.
got an next appointment, but I know you do have a next appointment. Why? I'm giving you the last
Yeah.
word. Why do you want to be mayor of the city of New Orleans? Why should a citizen in New Orleans vote for Royce Duplessis on October 11th?
I'm running for mayor to make New Orleans an easier place to live. I'm running to make New Orleans a more affordable place to live. That's going to be done through developing and preserving 40,000 affordable units over the course of 10 years. That's going to be done by attracting new business and economic development to our city so we can have jobs. Port of New Orleans jobs on average pay $75,000. We can do a lot right there with the port. We can do a lot right there at Charity Hospital with the Bio District. I'm going to be serious about economic development. I'm going to be serious about running an efficient city hall where you can walk in and in a predictable manner, get your permit out the door. These are real issues. I'm going to be serious about keeping New Orleans safe. I'm going to be a mayor you can be proud of. I have the right experience. I have the right vision. I have the temperament, and I'm independent, and I don't have a long line of people who I'm going to owe.
It's a good answer. Royce, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Corey.
A pleasure. I
appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you coming down
love
to the
it.
studio.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, just pull that.
If you'll
pull that
have
commercial.
me.
I'll
Yeah,
have you
you said pull
anytime
the
you
commercial.
want.
All right.
I'm serious.
All
Anytime
right.
you want.
Thank
You
you.
can call me next week
All
and say,
right.
I want to come in today.
All right.
Come in
Thank
as
you.
many times as you want
Thank you.
before October 11th.
We're about to drop a new ad soon. I think you'll like it.
Good. I
All
want
right.
to see. I'm looking
All
forward
right.
to the next ad.
Thank you, Corey.
You can just slip on out of here anytime. I know you
All
got
right,
an
my friend.
appointment. Thank
Take
you
care.
very much, Royce.
All right. See you.
That's
Thank you.
Royce Duplessis. My pleasure.
Appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you.
Be in touch.
That's Royce Duplessis joining us live in studio. Coming on down. I like that, Mario Brothers. You know, most of the time we have the old phone connection because it's easier. Anyway, I thought that went pretty good. I hope he pulls that spot, which I obviously didn't like too much. Royce Duplessis. No, if I were Royce Duplessis, I'm telling you, Mario, you're going to laugh at this. I would get with a local group of musicians and make a jingle. You know, I know you're laughing already. All three of the candidates are Democrats. They're all liberal. They're kind of, you know, on the left of, they're all the same ideology wise. How do you separate them? Plus, they're all like decent people. Everybody gets along. They're all friends. You know, someone like, you're calling Oliver Thomas decent. He went to jail 20 years ago. He paid his dues. You know, I give people a second chance. If you don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah, I straight up don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I don't disagree. I'm not arguing with you on that. I'm just saying what I do. I'm not voting for Oliver Thomas for mayor. But I don't think Oliver Thomas is like an evil guy.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think Oliver Thomas, and I might be totally wrong and I'm a fool. I don't think Oliver Thomas, if he won mayor, would be setting up himself and his friends and family. I think he'd be like, they're going to be watching me. I can't do a damn
Might
thing.
be a great guy and a great
Yeah,
father.
yeah, no.
I believe in redemption, but I'm not voting for him to be mayor.
No, I'm not either. But I'm just saying, I'm not either.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like they're all decent people. They all get, how do you separate yourself?
Yes.
And it's kind of like, total maintenance, air conditioning. The three things I talk about are true, that they're, Lucas is honest. So I think there's got to be some AC guys that are probably marginal, or maybe some that are dishonest. I don't know who they are, because I deal with total maintenance, but it's like any other industry. You got honest people, you got people in the middle, and you got people that are crooked. So any industry. I know for a fact Lucas is honest. He's incapable of screwing anyone around. If it's a replacement or service or repair, he's only doing what's absolutely necessary. I had a unit called R2D2, this round rusted out thing. We strung it along as long as we could. And he's like, dude, it's going to start costing you money now. Let's replace it. And he did. No, he's honest. They're experts. That there's like 30 plus techs, 30 plus trucks. They know air conditioning, and they come immediately. They have a sense of urgency because your AC is not working. I'm like, what more do you need? And you can trust me that they're honest, and you can trust me that they're experts. Lucas diagnosed my unit over the phone. So I pound those 3 points, and those are good points to separate total maintenance from other air conditioning companies. But what we did, I got with Lucas. I was like, Lucas, let's get with Jeff Epstein. He's a New Orleans musician. He'll get with a bunch of folks. We got like folks from Bonarama and Rebirth and all these different local bands. And Jeff wrote that total maintenance jingle that you hear. Total maintenance keeps you cool, your cool spot. And the music is something that's going to separate them from other air conditioning companies. It's like coldest beer in town, hottest video poker. That's not going to work. How's the cold? Our ice doesn't melt as fast as other ice. I mean, it's just, you can't make up stuff. So I throw out the real stuff, the honest experts and urgency, but how do you separate them? And music is how you separate them. And I was telling, Oliver Thomas, Helena Moreno, you're welcome to take my advice on this one. I mean, I remember this Lambert Boissier spot. This is 20 years ago. Vote for Lambert Boissier. He's the one who he's the one you today. Just vote for Lambert Boissier. Boissier. He's the one, the only one who can get the job done. Vote for Lambert Boissier. So I almost remember the whole damn spot. And it's 20 years ago, It's 20 years ago. I think about no, we'll go to regular time. Okay. Yeah, just don't worry about that, Mario. No, it's cool. No, I remember when the SPCA was on Japonica Street, they had a great jingle, just you remember these jingles, and I'm running for mayor right now. I'm Oliver Thomas or Royce Duplessis, who just joined us live, or Helena Moreno. I'm getting with some local musicians. I'm paying them a nice fee. I'm getting with like Jeff Epstein, someone who can write the song and come up with the lyrics and the idea. He did the Blue Cross Blue Shield. He's that creative. We got a blue for you, that kind of stuff. And you get him to write, a jingle. And you run that jingle for the next month, and then that gets pounded in people's head. Helena Moreno, whatever. Royce Duplessis is the man. Oliver Thomas is in town. Whatever. You come up with something and you pound that song for the next month, and then when people get in the poll, it's some happy-go-lucky song. The undecided, maybe folks are just like, I like the song. I'm voting for that guy because I like the song. No, you got to separate yourself from the other three, and Helena Moreno's the prohibitive favorite right now. She's got a huge lead. Royce Duplessis, Oliver Thomas have to make some kind of difference. I'm not going to sit there and go, hey, man, write a song, and that'll put you over the top. But it definitely can't hurt. You got to do something that's going to put your message in people's heads and if it's a happy song about the candidate, I don't think that can hurt at all. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. We got a full show for you. The 5:00 powwow is locked and loaded as well. Jay Cicero is going to join us in about 15 minutes. Mario, you're going to like this one. The Sports Business Journal says, and they're well respected, that New Orleans missed a deadline to bid on the 2031 Super Bowl. And there are reports that Mardi Gras and conventions would stop New Orleans from getting a bowl until like 2038. So if they don't get the 2031 Super Bowl, it's going to be like another, dozen plus years or longer gap, which is unacceptable. So it's 2031 or bust. the state and the Saints don't have a long-term agreement past 2030, the NFL's not going to award a Super Bowl to a stadium where the team doesn't have a long-term lease. Jay Cicero with the New Orleans Sports Foundation, he's going to join us to start the 5 o'clock Power Hour and fill us in on all he knows about that, the process and where the Saints are and the city is and all of that good stuff. Around 5:20, Bradley Schneller, stackedcoaching.com. He'll join us as well. And Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society. We got a full jam-packed 5 o'clock Power Hour, and we just had Royce Duplessis on. Don't move, New Orleans.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground. Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
Hey, it's 6 o'clock when we call it a day on this Thursday, at least this program. You can go to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson, and check out that interview we had with Royce Duplessis, or you can go to Twitter at Corey Johnson on Twitter and check it out. That'll be right after the show, right at 6 o'clock. No, interesting. I don't know. I guess about 25 minutes, about 30 minutes there with mayoral candidate Royce Duplessis, who joined us live in studio. Jay Cicero will join us in about 10 minutes with the New Orleans Sports Foundation. Sports Business Journal, a very well-respected publication. I used to get the Physical Sports Business Journal 20 years ago when I was doing sports talk 25 years ago. Crazy. They say New Orleans and the Saints missed a key deadline to bid on the 2031 Super Bowl, at least the first part of the bid process. The hang-up, the state and the Saints have yet to ink or agree to a long-term deal, a long-term lease. 2030 is when the existing deal with the Saints and the Dome runs out. So the NFL's not going to award New Orleans a Super Bowl, and there's no NFL stadium lease in 2031. Now, from what I understand, it's a done deal. From what I understand, it all boils down to the state has offices in Benson Tower, and they pay a premium for those. Like, I don't know what the square foot price is downtown New Orleans for Class A office space. Let's say it's $25 a square foot. The Saints are going to want $35 a square foot, literally. That first deal they did, I think the price per square foot, this is, 15 years ago or so, it was like $12 or $14 a square foot in the CBD. And I think the Saints deal was like $18 or $20, something like that, like 50% more. So that was the deal. They got like a first class rent from the state. The state got this office space for their workers. And the tower that Benson bought, the old LNG tower, it's automatically full and has a lot of, it's profit. It's making money. They're getting better than market rate. So I think that's the hang up. Like, the city and state, they want it to be close to market rate, and the Saints are trying to get it like 50% over is what I would guesstimate based off of the last negotiations. I think that's the final hang up, and then it's just like dotting I's and crossing T's, and it's done. I think it's going to get done. I think this is publicly known because I think the Saints want the public to know, and it'll put pressure on the state to get a deal done. So all I think this does is get the deal done quicker. So 2031 is the date. 2026, this year's Super Bowl in San Francisco. 2027, south of LA in Los Angeles. 2028, the ATL, Atlanta, Boring City, USA. 2029, not decided yet, but it'll probably be Las Vegas. 2030, not decided yet, but it'll probably be Nashville with their new stadium. 2031, there's going to be a lot of folks wanting that date besides New Orleans. Denver will have a new stadium built, a new Mile High. Chicago will have a new Soldier Field. DC will have a brand new stadium at the old RFK site. That's done. They're going to start breaking ground on that. Jacksonville, major renovations, hundreds of millions into their stadium. And then don't forget about Phoenix and Houston and Dallas with existing facilities that want to be part of the rotation. So it's a vicious loop, 2031, it'll definitely be Denver and Chicago and DC with their new stadiums. Hopefully the NFL tells some of them, hey, wait a year, Jacksonville, they're going to want in. Phoenix, Houston, Dallas, they're all going to want in. But here's the kicker for New Orleans. 2031 is like the only date because from reportedly 2032 to 2037, there's either a conflict with Mardi Gras or a major convention in town already booked that's taken up all the hotel space. So from like 2032 to like 2037, New Orleans can't host a Super Bowl. The next open date would be like 2038, and that would be ridiculous. I mean, we just hosted the game last year, 2024. 2038 would be the longest gap ever. We're already dealing with these double-digit 10, 11, 12-year gaps. We just dealt with that. We don't need to deal with that again. 2031's the date. And then you get the 2038 game. Got to get the 2031 game. Because, then you get the 2038 game 7 years later. Man, we used to get the game 1970, 1972, 1975, 1978, 81, 86. I mean, it's just boom, 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 boom out the gate. It was ridiculous. But then it went beyond Miami, LA, and New Orleans. They started getting other cities involved. They threw Houston in the rotation early, and then they were gone. And then they started, you build a new stadium, we're going to reward you. And it doesn't matter if it's in New York. Could you imagine the Super Bowl in New York? It was 40 degrees. It was the best weather in a month. If they would have had weather from 2 weeks early, 19 degrees, sleet, who wants to play a Super Bowl in that? That wrecks the game. So the NFL rolled the dice for New York, rewarded them, and they'll never, ever go back to New York ever again. No, they're going to poop in their pants going to D.C. and Denver in outdoor stadiums in February. You can have a blizzard in Denver, a whiteout. Hey, we got to cancel the game. We're playing on a Monday, It's crazy. Anyway, I think Nashville's going to have a dome stadium, so that's not a problem. Vegas already does. No, I think the story's a little bigger and wilder than reality. I think the Saints and the state are going to knock this thing out, and I think the NFL is going to welcome them bidding on the 2031 game. And keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully we get it, because otherwise it'll be a super long drought. The NFL's aware of all this. That definitely has something that plays a role in it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. As expected, a new trial date for Junket Cantrell, October 19th of next year, like 13 months away. It was scheduled for November, like 2 months away. We knew that wasn't going to happen. 13 months away, October 19th, 2026. The mayor will be out of office 9 months by the time that trial rolls around. Stick around, 5 o'clock powwow. Jay Cicero with the New Orleans Sports Foundation joins us to start the 5 o'clock powwow. We'll find out about this missed bid for Super Bowl 2031 and what he thinks, how the process works, all that good stuff. I picked up lunch today from Trey Yen. I was on the North Shore for a minute, grabbed a to-go order. Trey Yen, those to-go orders are incredible. The lunch specials at Trey Yen are incredible. Tuesday through Friday, you can go knock it out tomorrow, 10, 11, 12 bucks, or dinner tonight or tomorrow night. Trey Yen's one of the best seafood restaurants in Metro New Orleans. And yeah, it's not Chinese food, it's Chinese cuisine, something special. Tonight for dinner, Trey Yen in Mandeville. Coming right back.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us on a Thursday. Of course, it's New Orleans. Thank you, number 9, Mr. Drew Brees. He's right. It is New Orleans, Louisiana. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, Royce Duplessis joined us live in studio. Said he's going to have trash pickup 2 times a week. Going to get rid of the traffic cameras. We talked about a whole lot of stuff. Big story break in the last 24 hours in New Orleans. Sports Business Journal, well respected, saying New Orleans and the Saints missed a deadline to bid on the 2031 Super Bowl. I mean, bid, and then does the league narrow it down, and then they give you a date where you do a presentation, and then they pick a team or a city. How's all this work? Here's a guy who's got literally decades of experience in luring Super Bowls to the city of New Orleans. He knows about the process as well as anyone on planet Earth. Jay Cicero with the New Orleans Sports Foundation joins us again on the program. How you doing, Jay? How's everything been?
I'm doing good, Corey. Appreciate you having me on.
No, my pleasure, man. Always good having you on the program. Probably the first time I had you on, you were with the Zephyr organization. We talked about this over on Allen, Tucson, over by, old Robert E. Lee, West End, man, probably like 92, 93.
Yeah, 93 and 94. That was a long time ago.
It's silly. We're getting old, Jay.
I've lived 3 or 4 lives since then, that's for sure.
No, you live 3 or 4 lives just when you're trying to get a Super Bowl in New Orleans, right?
No doubt.
Stressful process. What's the story? New Orleans missing a bid for the 2031 Super Bowl. Essentially, the hang-up is the NFL's not going to award a Super Bowl to a city that doesn't have a lease with the team, the stadium lease with the team, right? That's the hang-up, right?
That's absolutely the hang-up at this point. The team only has a lease agreement through 2030, and the next available Super Bowl to bid on is 2031. So that certainly makes sense that New Orleans would not be invited at this time. Now, there was a deadline yesterday for their lease extension to be finalized because the NFL owners subcommittee on Super Bowl and special events met yesterday in New York. And they recommend to the full ownership, the city's that could be invited to bid upon a Super Bowl. And so, hopefully this lease extension gets done as soon as possible in the next couple of days or so, and Mrs. Benson can, lobby the Commissioner Goodell, and the other owners to put us back in and get us an invitation to bid on the game.
The 29 game and the 30 game, I think there's conflicts in New Orleans with conventions or Mardi Gras. So I think 2031's the date. The 29, 30, and 31 games, were cities putting in bids yesterday with the NFL for those 3 years of games?
I don't think so. It's my understanding that 29 has already been, they've already invited a city to bid on that. I believe it's Las Vegas.
Yep, Las Vegas.
And then 30.
Nashville.
Nashville because of their new stadium.
Yep.
And so 31 is the next one that would be available to be invited to bid. And that's the process. You have to be. It's moved from a competition of making final presentations, preparing for those presentations for months on end, and competing directly against another city at those final presentations, and the owners choosing New Orleans or choosing Miami or whomever. To the competition is now is the invitation to get the invite, the invitation to bid. That is where the competition moved to. Is what was happening was you had 2 or 3 cities vying for the same year, making this final presentation, and the NFL would say no to 2 of those cities, and therefore you had 2 owners who had and cities that have put in a lot of time and effort and resources into a bid, and they were telling 2 owners no.
Right.
So they went to a single city bid several years ago, where now the competition is to get invited to bid, and so that's moved up. So it's kind of a private process to be invited to bid, but being that the Saints are negotiating their lease extension now, it's been a little more public than previously. But it is that's what the competition is now, is getting the invite to bid. And look, there are a lot of new stadiums that are coming on board in the next several years.
Yep.
That have roofs on them. They're northern stadiums that have roofs on them. Chicago is building a new stadium with a roof. Denver is building a new stadium with a roof. Washington, D.C., even Cleveland is building a new stadium with a roof. And it's all to be able to host Super Bowls, Final Fours, and do what New Orleans has been doing, for 50 years now. And so the competition is as fierce as ever, and we have to really remain competitive. And the first step in us being able to be invited to bid upon the 2031 Super Bowl was yesterday. And unfortunately, because of the delay in the Saints lease agreement being signed, we missed that deadline. So, hopefully there's still some time left, that if we can get this, if the Saints and the state of Louisiana and the LCD can come to some agreement over the next several days, several hours, then Mrs. Benson's going to have to go to those owners and say, hey, we got our deal done. Can we be invited to bid? And, that's a tall one. There are cities out there that have been hoping to get invited to bid for many, many years.
Yep.
And we're taking a chance by not getting it done on time, but hopefully Mrs. Benson can come to the rescue and get the deal done and convince those owners to vote on us.
So San Fran this year, LA 2027, Atlanta 2028. It hasn't been officially announced, but from what you understand and what most people are reporting, the bid is a single bid for 2029, and it's for Vegas, and 30 is for Nashville. If the Saints and the state had their you-know-what together yesterday, would the NFL have offered that 2031 bid to New Orleans?
Well, nothing's guaranteed, but we have been having several conversations with the league and the commissioner about that since we hosted Super Bowl. During Super Bowl and hosting Super Bowl, 2031 was our year, and since everything went extremely well, there's really nothing in our way except for the lease agreement, which we assumed would be done, lease extension, excuse me.
Yeah.
Which we assumed would be done by then or by now. And so the fact that it wasn't has now kind of put us in a little bit of a precarious position, and hopefully things can work out pretty smoothly in the next several hours or a few days, and Mrs. Benson can lobby that group to let us get back in. But look, I've been in Super Bowl bids where we thought we were going to have an upper hand. We were bidding on the 2018 Super Bowl back in 2014, and 2018 was our tricentennial year.
Yep.
Now we had a heck of a bid to go along with it, and we were beat by Minneapolis. Minnesota Vikings owner led the charge for a bid, and because they had their new stadium, pleaded with the other owners to vote for Minnesota, and we were shocked, but that's what happened. So you never know what can happen when you don't you're leaving it up to the owners to vote on you. But again, hopefully Mrs. Benson can make some magic. But look, the lease agreement's got to be signed first, otherwise we have no shot.
And the league did not offer the 2031 to any other city yesterday.
We don't think so.
Okay.
We don't think so.
Gotcha. No, you're right. Denver, Chicago, DC, Cleveland, Jacksonville is going to pour a lot into their stadium. And then you got the regular holdovers, Phoenix, Houston, Dallas, that are going to want the game too. So a lot of competition, Jay. Get the lease signed.
Absolutely true.
The lease gets signed in the next few days. You feel confident that the Super Bowl in 2031, let me ask you it this way. You feel confident there's a pretty good chance we could land the 2031 game?
I did a few days ago. Again, I think if the lease agreement were signed a few days ago and we'd have gone into yesterday with that lease agreement, and I felt pretty good about us being invited to bid. But we don't know. We've kind of taken a chance, but I think that there is some hope there that Mrs. Benson, if the deal gets done soon, Mrs. Benson can go in and convince them to help us.
From what I understand, Jay, 2032 to 2037 is being reported as a no-go for Super Bowl, with either Mardi Gras conflict or huge conventions already booked in the city that are taking up a lot of hotel space. Is that what you understand? 2032 to 2037, the city's unavailable?
Yeah, that's always an issue with us. Again, everything really has to line up when New Orleans is bidding on a Super Bowl. Having the hotel rooms available.
Yep.
Avoiding the Mardi Gras or the weekend after Mardi Gras.
Yep.
You've got, because you got to move in everything over and impossible to do that over Mardi Gras. Impossible to have the convention center available over the second weekend of Mardi Gras or the weekend after Mardi Gras. So that avoiding that is our first search. And then the number of conventions that are booked here for many, many years in the future is absolutely amazing.
Yep.
There are some conventions that book every 3 to 4 years here for 15, 16, 20 years out.
Yep.
They go ahead and book the convention center. They book their hotels because they know that New Orleans fills up fast, and they want to make sure that they have something that they can count on the years when they need it. And so no good salesperson is going to turn down multiple year business.
Right.
And so if we are if Super Bowl is being bid out for a year that we do not have the hotel rooms available, then we'd have to go and move all of that business.
Yep. Not going to
pay
happen.
for it. It's millions and millions plus where are they going to move to?
No, exactly. Can't do it.
You know, that's the issue. And plus you take a chance on ruining a relationship with a multi-year long-term customer.
Convention group. Yep.
Yeah, convention group. So
Yep.
I mean, it's just not a good thing.
Jay, lastly, the NFL's aware of that from 2032 to 2037. New Orleans is out. I'm assuming they know that.
We've had conversations about every year over the next 10, 12 years for sure.
Good.
To know what's available and what's not.
Yep. I want the 2038 game after we get the 2031 one. I'm greedy.
Yeah, well, I mean, the sooner we host it, the sooner we can get it back. And,
Yep.
And look, if we host it in 31 and then we have the ability to let all the new stadiums get awarded Super Bowls.
Yep.
And maybe 38 would be available.
Yep.
And we could go after a second one. But you're right. We should be looking at every 5, 6, 7, 8 years rather than every 10 or 12 years.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Like the old days, they were fantastic. Jay Cicero, always a pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
Okay, Corey, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. That's Jay Cicero with the New Orleans Sports Foundation telling us how the NFL works with those Super Bowl bids. It is a Thursday afternoon. Coming right back.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good buddy.
Yeah, you're right. Love old Blue Boy. Yeah, you can disparage me all day long. 766-9480 is how you do it. But don't dog old Blue Boy. I'll take that personal. Hey, we normally do this in the 4 o'clock hour on a Thursday, around 4:35 every Thursday. If you're into nutrition or fitness or you just want to be, you're trying to get there. A year and a half ago, I was the Pillsbury Doughboy just sitting on the sofa, and that was like for a decade or more. Now, I would jog a little bit every now and then stop. I'd go ride my bike for a month or two and then stop. I might, play around, tennis, walk, playing golf, stuff like that, stop. But then I joined Stacked Gym, and this is me, someone who's not like in clubs. I'm not a member of any country club. I'm not a member of any social club. I'm not a member of any Mardi Gras club. I don't go fishing with the crew of guys. I don't go hunting with the crew of guys. I just don't do it. Never have. Just how I'm built. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, just how I'm built. I joined Stacked Gym, stackedcoaching.com. the gym on River Road at Arnold, right past the River Shack, right behind the Paulins little vet center there at Shrewsbury and River Road. I joined a year and a half ago. I'm there all the time. I'm like, it's kind of not what I do. It's kind of becoming who I am. I'm not there yet. Got to keep grinding. But honestly, I kind of am surprising myself that I've been going a year straight. And the diet part, the nutrition part, I'm not a big diet or nutrition person, but that organically happened. I'm like, man, I'm putting in the time here at Stack Coaching. I'm not going to blow the diet and eat a, fried shrimp platter and onion rings 5 days a week. I still enjoy a nice fried shrimp po' boy at Don Melisi's every now and then and stuff like that, but I'm more aware. And no, it can work for you. Go to the website, stackedcoaching.com. The guy who owns the gym, who came up with the concept that comes up with every routine. You can do one-on-one training with you, classes like I do. You can use the gym by yourself if you want. Bradley Schneller is the guy. He joins us again on the program, stackedcoaching.com. What you say, Bradley?
Not much, Corey. How you doing, brother?
Doing well, man. Thanks so much. And thanks to you and your gym for bringing me in and somehow keeping me there, man. I honestly, I don't know how I keep going. It's just not my style, and I'm kind of addicted, man. It's become a lifestyle thing.
So it's interesting. Like, there's a reason we call ourselves Stack Coaching and not Stack Gym. And it's because, not only do you try to coach everyone that walks through our doors in fitness and nutrition, but it's also about mindset and behavior, right? I had an interesting conversation with a doctor today, and they were talking about nutrition, fitness, their idea behind it. And I said, look, the biggest difference, and we were talking about dietitians versus nutritionists. And I said, like, I've hired dietitians before that couldn't coach someone to lose 5 pounds of weight. Because a dietitian, what they normally learn is, what do you need to eat after your surgery in the hospital, right? Here's some like juice and your salt sodium levels and, dinner you're about to eat, right? But from a nutritionist standpoint, like what we coach people to do in terms of losing weight, body composition, overall health, right? It's like 15 to 20 things from a science standpoint. But our biggest work that we do is in behavioral change, right? Learning someone's lifestyle. How can they adapt their lifestyle in order to promote a healthier lifestyle and those types of things.
Yeah, for me, it was, and I guess you guys are helping me along the whole way. It was really organic. I started 3 days at the gym, then more and more. I had to go more to keep up. And then I all of a sudden, I'm like, no, I don't want to get that ice cream. I'm not going to eat those M&Ms. I'm not going to eat those chips. I'm not eating that fried food. That all just kind of happened by itself. So I was lucky, I guess, in a way. But then it's all relative, Bradley. Like, I can take it to a whole nother level if I want, right?
Well, it all depends on what you want, but I love what you just said. And you always talk about your journey, how you're half in, right? And you talk about where you were, what you're doing, how it organically happened. And that's because you just took this slow approach and you just kept at it. And so right now, if you look back on your life, it's completely different from how you eat, how you operate in terms of fitness, in terms of nutrition. I was having a conversation with a potential client yesterday, and, we were talking about diet, we were talking about nutrition, and I asked her, I said, what's keeping you from finding a gym that works for you, or a program that works for you? And she's like, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's not fun. And I equated it to like, a diet. Like we at Stacked always say the best diet is the diet that you can keep. And it's the same thing. Like people will find the right exercise program for them that will keep them coming. Like they just have to find it. And they just have to keep doing it and keep getting after it. I like to think that our program suits everyone, but it also depends on what you're looking for.
Stackedcoaching.com. Monday through Friday, what, Bradley? 5:30 a.m. class, 6:30 a.m. class. You have a class for older folks 3 days a week at 7:30. You have an 8:30 class every Monday through Friday. You have a 9:30 class, noon 4:30 and 5:30, right?
5:30.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
it's incredible. You have like 6, 7 classes every single day with an instructor, a whole routine that everybody's going through. About what, 5 different phases, generally speaking, you go through each class. Sometimes it's different, but generally 5 different phases, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, what's interesting is someone always asks us, well, like, is your 5:30 class, is that different from your 4:30 class? And I'm like, no, we are different than any other gym. Any other gym, or most gyms, okay, or a lot of gyms in the boutique fitness industry, they like create the situation where you pop in, they sell these class packs, you know, like a punch card, right? And I tell people, like, we are the program that you do. Anything else you do is extra to what we do. But we write our program because we are the program that people do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
And it's you pride yourself in it covering every single part of the body and cardio as well, right?
Yeah, you know, there's a formula we use to hit the right amount of zone 2 cardio to anaerobic capacity to the exact amount of resistance training needed to move the dial for most of our adults in terms of their body composition on a weekly basis.
I go to zone 3 cardio.
Well, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It's right above zone 2. There's a lot of people hit zone 3, the zone 4, zone 5 as well.
I mentioned to a few people there, they need a button I can push and like the oxygen mask falls out of the ceiling like on a plane. And I can
Yeah,
just,
you're good, man. You're good. You're better than you think.
I hope so, man. I love it. There's no doubt about it. I love the people and I mean, just today, Nicole's like, your back's, the flat of your back's supposed to be on the ground. Get your lower back on the ground on this. I'm like, thanks, you know,
Look,
in the middle of it.
You are better at fitness than Isaiah Foskey is at football.
Wow. Nice. You got Mario laughing at that one.
It's a low bar, though, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out what that means
If
exactly.
that's an actual compliment or not.
Yep, exactly. Bradley Schneller's with us. StackedCoaching.com's the website. You can go online and check it out. You can book an appointment, a consultation. Bradley will show you the gym. It's free. He'll sit down one-on-one with you, figure out your goals. And Bradley, you this is what I love about you. You'll be like, yeah, perfect spot. Come on in. We'll get you into a class. Or you're like, Stacked Coaching's probably not for you.
Yep, that is true. I will say that. You know, people that are looking for a little bit something extra what they already do, we're not in. Again, we're the entree. Everything else is the appetizer, dessert. Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you're looking to be hyper competitive from a fitness or performance standpoint, that's not us either. Look, man, we coach adults. Okay. Mostly adults in between the ages of 30 and 55. And look, there's some zone above that and below it, but that's our main demographic right there.
Yep.
For people looking to feel good, look good, be healthier, be stronger, body composition wise. That's what we're worried about. That's what we work on. And I don't have a problem telling people, look, you want to look good? Come to us. We'll make you look good.
It's got to be a fulfilling gig you got, Bradley. Seriously, just hundreds of people that love what you've done for their life.
Yeah, man. It's like, but also what's fulfilling is I get to meet like wonderful people like yourself.
Yep. No, man. No, we become friends. You're a good dude, man. I enjoy our time and conversations together for sure, man. It's StackedCoaching.com. Go to the website. Check it out. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm telling you, it'll all be organic. You'll end up embracing it and loving it. You'll change your diet. It'll improve your life. StackedCoaching.com. Bradley, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
StackedCoaching.com. What are you waiting for? The first move is to go to the website and set up a consultation with Bradley. Do it right now. StackedCoaching.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson, where the grass hasn't been cut in weeks or months. There's a lot of trash and garbage on the neutral ground, maybe even a person or two taking a nap. And someone didn't pick up the dog shit.
Oh, boy. Hey, you heard that commercial about Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. You need to get over there. You South Shore folks, I'm telling you two things. You're going to love it. And it's going to be a regular on your restaurant rotation. You're going to be going there like every 2 or 3 weeks, once a month at worst. I'm there about every 2 weeks. And not because they're a client. I was there every 2 weeks for like the last year before they ever became a client on the show. And I guess they became a client on the show because of, I love the restaurant. I talked to Pat Gallagher. It was just easy. It was an easy connection. We both wanted to do it. No salesman involved. Just he and I talking about it. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Great local seafood, great steaks and lamb chops sizzling in butter. Lots of great stuff like the merlaton, seafood merlaton. Fantastic. The sweet potato casserole, off the charts. And incredible gumbo and turtle soup. And I don't know. There's nothing on that menu I don't like. I think you'll feel the same way. Get over there in Mandeville, Gallagher's 527. There's no driving across the North Shore either. You cross that Causeway Bridge immediately on your right, across the street from Trey Yen, behind that Shell station. Gallagher's 527. Yummy. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed mayoral candidate Royce Duplessis. He joined us live in studio. In about 23 minutes, 22 minutes at 6 o'clock, you can go to our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube, and check out that interview with Royce Duplessis. Or go to Twitter, at Corey Johnson on Twitter, on X, and you can check out that interview. That'll be at 6 o'clock, just in a few minutes when we end the program. Yeah, Royce Duplessis joined us. Jay Cicero joined us to start the 5 o'clock Power Hour. Sports Business Journal, well-respected national publication, saying New Orleans and the Saints missed a key NFL deadline yesterday. The bid for the 2031 Super Bowl. From what Jay Cicero is saying, it's like the owners get together and they decide on which city's going to get the next Super Bowl, and they go to that city and they say, hey, you want to host the 2031 game? And apparently New Orleans is going to be that city. Hopefully that's the case. A lot of other competition. Reportedly, we're going to be able to get right back in this thing. The hang up is the Saints lease with the state, with the Superdome, runs through 2030. The extension is yet to be signed, yet to be inked. Once that's done, I think not only will the NFL reconsider New Orleans, but keeping my fingers crossed we land the 2031 game. Reportedly, 2032 through 2037 is out. Mardi Gras or convention conflicts. So the next time would be 2038. We have to get that 2031 game. 2038 is way too long of a wait. That's ridiculous. He normally joins us right before the 5 o'clock Power Hour starts on a Thursday around 4:50. We toss him a bone. But because of Royce Duplessis joining us live in studio, he's joining us now. Jeff Dorson, Humane Society of Louisiana. The website's humanela.org. Go to that website and donate, humanela.org. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, Corey. Always a pleasure. Look forward to our time together. You're one of the few in your business who always make time to talk about just being kind and mindful and considerate to other creatures we share the planet with.
Yep.
So I'm grateful to you for that.
Yeah, no, man. That's how it's got to be. I'm watching this, whale off the, west coast of America pushing its dead baby calf for days.
Oh.
I'm like, and these elephants, when a baby elephant's born, how the whole, crew of elephants, whatever you heard, come around and assist and help out. It just these animals are smart and they've got emotions, and these rare whales, this pushing the baby calf that died at birth for days on end, just very heart-wrenching situation. And when you see a baby elephant born and all the herd of elephants go surround it, you're like, these are intelligent animals. No, one day it'll be a paradise, Jeff, but we're not there yet. And we've got a bunch of morons on the planet known as human beings that treat animals inhumanely. It could be poachers for some elephant's tusk, or some local idiot in Louisiana cockfighting or dog fighting, man. We got to do a lot better. Hopefully we're making progress.
Well, you said a lot there, and good for you. There's a strong bond animal to animal, and there should be a stronger bond between human and animal. I don't always see it, and I'm always regret the missed opportunities where we can be kind, and a lot of people choose to be cruel, which I'll never understand. But we launched a kind of fun campaign a couple days ago called #BeKindToAnimals 30-Day Challenge. It couldn't be simpler than simply going out of your way to do a random act of kindness and tell us about it. And we shared online that the platforms are taking off. People are commenting, telling us what they do, uploading their videos. And that's exactly what we wanted. Just do something nice for a change and tell us about it.
Yep. No, Louisiana, New Orleans, we have a horrible reputation how we treat animals. And a lot of people that are much more intelligent than I am say how a society treats its animals is a direct reflection on that society. And we do a poor job in New Orleans. We do a poor job in Louisiana. I mentioned dog fighting and cockfighting still exists in this state. Just ridiculous. And then just the, neglect. People don't understand that an animal's not a TV set, a material object. It's a responsibility. Getting people to spay or neuter their animals, getting them to go to the vet. Heartworm medicine once a month for dogs. It's not an option. It's a necessity. It's hard to convince people to treat their animals humanely. It's my property, Jeff. I'll do what I want with it.
I hear that a lot. So you're right. It costs money and time if you want to do it right. about 800 to 1,000 per pet. To
At
do it
least,
right.
at least.
And people, and then people cut corners, and then who suffers? Not you. You're not going to miss a meal. You're in the AC cooling off, but your dog's tied up under a tree.
Yep.
Wow, we got a ways to go, brother.
Yep. No, we do. We do. It's
And
called
thank you. I
responsible
think
pet ownership.
Yeah, and I think you bought an animal-friendly license plate a while back.
I've had two. I've got the bear right now. I switched to the bear because I was pissed off about, opening black bear season, because for 10 bears, just stupid. And so I went to the bear, but I'm ready to go back to animal friendly. I had that one with the dog and the cat and little paw prints on the license plate. I've had not one, but two of those plates, Jeff.
Good for you. And I hate to burst your bubble about the black bear plate. The hunters took it over. We introduced that plate decades ago, and now the money goes for pro hunting. So it's no longer what you think it is.
No, I'm getting the black bear paid off my car within the next week then. Seriously.
Yeah.
I will go down to the DMV and get rid of that, turn in that plate for that exact. Why are you getting rid of the plate? Because it doesn't go to preservation of bears. It goes to the hunting of bears.
Yeah.
How ridiculous.
Our plate.
What a farce.
And we were powerless. The big hitters are bigger and better funded than we are. So stick to your animal friendly and you'll do fine.
Yep. Now, there's no Humane Society of Louisiana plate?
We actually passed a law 2024, and we need 1,000 signatures before it is manufactured. We're at about 600 signatures.
Oh, wow. All right. I need to sign that. How do we sign that?
Go to my Facebook page or the group, and there's pages you can download and print. You can't do it digitally. It's got to be handwritten, but we're 400 short for our plate and 400 short for the Wildlife Rehabilitators plate. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, any title transfer or DMV office offers specialty plates, not just the regular, but you have to look around and ask, especially go online to Department of Motor Vehicles, and they have probably dozens to choose from.
Oh, yeah, they might have 100. But you need 1,000 people signing like a petition, basically, to get the plate made.
That's correct.
Okay. And humanela.org doesn't have any of that info?
It's not on our website. Social media, mainly Facebook.
Okay. Get it on the website. Get it on the website.
You're right. We will.
No, I know you will.
To you.
No, come on. It's easy to walk into a finished house and go, Jeff, why'd you put the window over there? You could have put it here. It's like you did 1,000 things to build the house, and I'm being critical of the window. So
it's really okay.
It's easy.
It's a good piece of advice we'll follow.
Yeah, no, I want to get that plate done so you guys get a little pop of money, and I'll put one of those on my car for sure. And I'm getting rid of the black bear plate now. Wow.
Thank you.
Yep.
If people don't realize, the surcharge for these specialty plates goes for the nonprofit or social group or university that you're supporting that has it on the plate. So the $50 goes for a good cause.
HumaneLA.org is the website. Go to it right now and donate some money. That's a good cause. Donate $10, $20, $50, $100, $1,000 if you can. I promise you, the money's going to be well spent, and Jeff's going to save animals with that money. I can promise you that. Hey, Jeff, before we let you go, any special need, any concern you have right now? Some animals you're taking care of, you need help?
Yeah, we're doing we've taken in a lot lately just because people are dumping them on the side of the road. So if you could donate 5 or 10, 15 or 20, and in the open column, open field, just put to help strays, because we're taking in a bunch from the northern part of the state that have no services. So that would be a big help.
HumaneLA.org. HumaneLA.org is the website. Go to it now and donate. Jeff, always a pleasure, brother. Thanks so much. Thanks for what you do.
Back at you. Thank you so much. Talk to you next week.
That's Jeff Dorson, HumaneLA.org. Go donate. Go to the website right now and donate. Hey, LGD Lawn and Landscapes, you're going to hear a lot more about them. You're hearing the radio commercials right now. You're seeing the TV commercials if you're watching on TV. They do synthetic turf installation in your backyard, around the pool. No more puddles, no more tracking mud or dirt in your house. Artificial synthetic turf is the future. Zero maintenance. Plus, they use Sinlawn, the best in the industry. I'm getting a chipping and putting green installed in my backyard from New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes. To get your absolutely free estimate for your house or business, go to their website, nola.lgd.com. nola.lgd.com. No, I'm fired up. My golf game's going to improve. My backyard's going to look a lot better. My chipping and putting's going to take off. Zero maintenance, too. Coming right back, New Orleans. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch, it's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
It's pretty interesting. Jay Cicero joined us from the New Orleans Sports Foundation to start the 5 o'clock hour. We were discussing the story from Sports Business Journal, national publication. New Orleans and the Saints missed a key NFL deadline yesterday at an owners meeting for, I don't think it's for the Saints to bid on the Super Bowl anymore, as Jay was explaining. It was for the NFL to offer the Super Bowl to the Saints, essentially. And that, it's still a bid. It's still a bid. Like, we know the game this year's in San Francisco. We know the game in 2027's in LA. We know the game in 2028 is in Atlanta. Jay Cicero was saying, and it's been reported for a while now, like the 29 game's going to go to Vegas. The 30 game's going to go to Nashville and their new stadium. First time in Nashville for a Super Bowl. So those aren't officially awarded yet. But the NFL no longer has a bid process where they say, hey, cities, first put in a bid for the Super Bowl for whatever year. And it might be 5 or 6 cities putting in the bid. Then the NFL would narrow it down to 3 finalists. And then those 3 finalists would put a presentation together on what they're going to do. And then the NFL owners would vote off the power of those presentations and pick one of the 3 finalists. Jay Cicero is saying 2 finalists that didn't win, that put in all this effort and time and money and a lot of time into the proposal, they lose. Those owners are pissed off. So now the NFL is it's the same result. You're still eliminating teams, but it's done. There's like, they narrow it down before. So instead of saying, hey, we're accepting bids for the game, they go to one team and go, you want to bid on the 2029 game. And for like Las Vegas, I think they're getting the 29 game. They're the only team, only city that the NFL offered the bid to. And it looks like the 30 game, it was Nashville. 31, it appears it was New Orleans. That's what I'm reading into this. Maybe I'm reading into it wrong. I think the Saints and the NFL, why this is public, they want to get the deal done. They want stability with their franchises and what's best for the league, and that's the Saints signing a long-term deal. So I think how Sports Business Journal got the story, why it's out in the public, the NFL and the Saints leaked it on purpose. And now fans are concerned, like me and any fan, not only a fan of the Saints, but a fan of the city. I want that damn Super Bowl, and I want it sooner than later. So no other city was offered the game yesterday. So I think this is the NFL and the Saints, like, hey, Louisiana Saints, get your you-know-what together, sign this deal. And for what I understand, it's all agreed upon. It's like dotting I's and crossing T's. So the NFL knows all of this. So this is just to get this, done. And I think it will be done, like maybe by tomorrow, maybe over the weekend, maybe by Monday. And then I think Gail Benson's going to call the NFL, and the report's going to be she begged the NFL to let the Saints try to get the 2031 game, and the NFL is going to go for that. And I think we're going to get the 2031 game. I'm hopeful. There's going to be a lot of competition. The NFL also knows this. From 2032 to 2037, New Orleans won't be able to bid on any Super Bowls, either because of a Mardi Gras conflict or a big convention that's already booked. So the NFL, they want to come back to New Orleans. They loved last year's Super Bowl in New Orleans. And they don't want to wait from 2024 to 2038, 14, 15 years. That'd be the longest drought ever. They're already too long. No, I think the NFL, they figured out a couple of things when they came back to New Orleans. Are we going to keep awarding cities that build new stadiums a Super Bowl? You bet. But boy, when we go to some of these other cities, a city that we have to because they built a new stadium, or, other cities that are now part of the rotation, they're not like New Orleans. Like the owners, the media, the NFL people that go, they're covering the game 1,000 plus. They're like, man, yeah, we're going to go to Miami. Yeah, we're going to go to LA. Yeah, we're going to go to San Francisco. But the commute is ridiculous. And the driving around from one end of these big cities to the other is a nightmare. Nothing's convenient. New Orleans is walkable. Everything is right there. It's tight. It's condensed. They love it. And they've their love for it is reimagined. They're back to where they should be. Like New Orleans is a special place for a Super Bowl. And some of the places we go, like Dallas, suck. Because we're driving 45 minutes from one venue to the other, 45 minutes an hour in traffic to get to a press conference. New Orleans, it's all right there. So they're recognizing this again. So they want to come back to New Orleans. So I think the 2031 game will be in New Orleans. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I hope I'm right on this assumption, this guess. And I'm trying to take as much factual information in as possible to come to a logical conclusion on why 2031. Now, places like Denver and Chicago and D.C. and even Cleveland, They're going to have new stadiums with a roof. Jacksonville is going to pour a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and redo their stadium. Phoenix, Houston, Dallas, already in the rotation. They want the game again. So I think the NFL is going to be like, New Orleans can't get it again till 38. We don't want to wait that long. Let's get the game in New Orleans in 2031. And then since New Orleans isn't available from 2032 to 2037, we can hit Denver up, Chicago, DC, Cleveland, put in the old school guys, Phoenix, Houston, Dallas. Don't forget about Miami, Atlanta. Maybe Tampa Bay is going to want a game, and then back in New Orleans, ideally in 38. That's the ideal scenario. Getting the 31 game first, and then the next available date is 2038. And maybe getting that game as well, not waiting till 2038. Not getting the 2031 Super Bowl would be beyond disappointing. Plus, the economic benefit of it is tremendous. So I don't know. I think the story of like we blew it and the chance of getting the Super Bowl is greatly diminished. Got to have that deal done. The deal's right on the brink of getting signed. It's going to get done. I wouldn't be shocked if I get off the air and it's done, or it's done tomorrow. It's done early next week. And then the next step is the NFL saying, yeah, we're going to reconsider New Orleans for 2031. And then I hope we get it. They'd be announcing Vegas for 29, Nashville for 30, and ideally New Orleans for 31. That would just be a huge win for the city. And I think kind of the right thing to do with the NFL. We're not like a lot of cities, Dallas can have the game anytime. There's no convention in town. There's no lack of hotel rooms. There's no Mardi Gras conflict. Houston, Atlanta, all these cities, Miami, LA, San Fran, there's no conflict ever. We're a tourist city, major tourist city, major convention city, 5th largest convention center in the country. So no, there are other things that need to be considered. And thank God the NFL loves New Orleans and takes these other things into consideration. That's Blue Boy Barkin', mañana. Fantasy Friday, be here. Oh, and check out Royce Duplessis right now on Twitter, YouTube.
Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.